Time Sermon from Celebrant. Losing what my younger self, safely shielded by the favoritism of the past, gets to keep forever, the bastard. Or at least until we lose it all. But even then, that prick in the photos of me gets to keep what I have taken from me. Or why should I take them from me? Is this the depredation of a future self on me? Is he going to call me prick and bastard? And do I have meekly to submit to his insults, even if they do belong to a closed economy? But time comes in from the outside to collect taxes and levy fines even, fining me. Time is just a low-down, impersonal, unfeeling finer and part-time tax collector, not even full-time, since nobody seems to get full-time. A full-timer would occupy only a ceremonial post meant to address people's expectations and maintain the fiction of time in full measures. But every unit of time is doctored and irregular from seconds to centuries. Sex flashes by, and the wait in between yawns the generation of a generation of sphinxes. Aging part of incessant, mean chiseling of time. The bows rise and fall like the breast of a sleeper. A soft, gentle, stupid seeking movement. If we do not exaggerate. Then when aren't we slaves? To be slaves? When aren't we reasoning? When do we ever reason enough by getting through enough of the doors and yards and parks, scenic walks, preserves, out to reason in the wild? Still always at the doorstep. A cursed doorstep like a footprint. Timepiece. Same old slip. The scholar gypsy who left the university to learn charlatanry. True charlatanry from the gypsies who taught him to read minds and slay demons like the diamond sword of the wayfaring Chinese scholars. He learned to leave, and was lief to have left his baffled friends where they found him. Sleeping, wicked young man, an apologetically vile and ingratiating in-city who wastes no time, not ever a moment, no matter what he's doing. The in-city is wayfaring toward his immortality. Long life? So find what makes life long. Boredom. I seek it out and repeat it, and as long as I am bored, patient, and waiting, the moments of my life telescope out in empty, tapering segments to the horizon, in all directions. Fail by all means, my boy, it's good for you. The patriot must at times will the defeat of his nation. The partisan wants a tough, resourceful, honorable, and noble enemy, a worthy opponent. Since when is time such a worthy opponent? When he sneak thieves everything by pinches and small measures and undermines. With no patience. Don't be taken in by that old line. Time is as impatient as the next of them. But weak. So weak it can only pluck at you steadily until finally you drop out of tune, fray, break, are replaced. If time were patient, I wouldn't have to be. Time's impatience is what compels me, or no, let me say obliges me, if only because it's nieser. Time's impatience I evade. Deft patience with the same. Time's ingratitude, well, I don't let that bother me all that much. It reflects more on time than on yours sincerely, because it's nieser. I meet time's impatience with my own particular and special sleep. Fresh kills. Sirens go again. I don't like this part. The police and the working stiff are impatient. They go through maybe one door, maybe one impatient time. In the time it takes me to speak a single word, they are already exhausted. People simply take entirely too long. You should have called from another time zone. You ought to have been born dead. The least you could do is live apologizing for the inconvenience you are. Still originally sinning and still living, day to day, with God, kings, every UN insists are anachronisms, even if they do kill to their satisfaction. Obviously you're not supposed to exist, but these things happen sometimes. No one knows why. No one's really to blame. We'd prefer it if you killed yourself, but it would not be unsatisfactory if you would simply act as if you didn't exist. Keep out of our way. Go quietly into natural death when it comes. Yes, you are very accomplished, not so bad looking, even witty, and I dare say even charming, even erudite in your way, and so on. But while we acknowledge all of this, As you've no doubt noticed by now, there is not the slightest conceivable use for you. Anywhere. The feeling that one is at risk of being overlooked by the whole world that compels you to remind the world that you are still here in the room. What is the thing I'm supposed to be stubbornly refusing to concede? Time will never be patient or grateful. A good thing, too, because time is a treacherous friend and inconstant ally. You must, time say, but what time must is another matter, and you have no say in that. You don't get to tell time off. Sleep through time in patience and let it miss you. You won't be missed. Time is to impatience and depends on your turning up again in the course of the churning. But this is not actually strictly assured, and one can take advantage of time's not really caring to keep track. That so-called careful record-keeping bit with the quill pen and logbook on the 19th century Dickensian high desk is just public relations. All sorts of business, all manner of contraband, the Celebrant, for example, get by.